Now at 10, the snow has stopped falling in southern Wisconsin, and Gary Canalti says it's not sticking around for long. And President Trump makes a stop in Wisconsin on the night of a deadly synagogue shooting in California, what he's saying about that attack. Plus, it was a snowy day for the first day of professional soccer in Madison. We have reaction from fans who braved the weather.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for watching News 3 Now at 10. I'm Amanda Quintana. The snow is starting to wrap up around southern Wisconsin, and it looks like it'll disappear just as fast as it came. Let's get a look at your first alert weather with Gary Canalti out on the patio. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Amanda. You know, yesterday I wore a snowman tie, even though the temperatures were around 60 degrees, because I knew that the snow would be coming for the next day. So I'm wearing a baseball jacket tonight because I know the temperatures are going to be warming up for tomorrow. The snow pretty much out of Wisconsin now. It's ended across our entire viewing area, and skies are actually starting to clear out to the west, and that will allow temperatures to drop off quite a bit for tonight. But you can see southern Wisconsin, maybe a couple of flurries over areas south of Milwaukee toward Racine and Kenosha counties, but that's pretty much it. Visibility is now at or above 10 miles for just about all the major reporting stations, so the snow is done. Now, high temperatures were early this morning here in Madison. It was at 45 around midnight, and those temperatures stayed into the upper 30s and low 40s before the precipitation started. So initially, there was some warm air near the ground that had to be overcome, and that's why the snow didn't accumulate as much other than on grassy areas, and it really didn't accumulate at all on the road surfaces. Temperatures right now are still at or above freezing through all of southern Wisconsin, but notice Black River Falls, they're at 28, Camp Douglas at 30. Skies are starting to clear there, and as that clearing works its way over the fresh snow cover, temperatures will probably be a little colder over southern Wisconsin and western portions of the state. Freeze warnings are in effect for areas west of Lone Rock and Platteville. That's an area where the growing season may have been a little more established, at least from a historical standpoint. That's why freeze warnings are in effect there and not the rest of southern Wisconsin. But here in Madison, we'll be below freezing by morning. Temperatures will be in the upper 20s. The record low temperature for tomorrow, 27, set back in 1988, and that's within reach. Tomorrow we'll start out with some sunshine. Skies will turn cloudy in the afternoon, but more importantly, that high temperature will be back up at 52 degrees. Later on, I'll take a look at some rain chances for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Gary. The snow was no problem for soccer fans today at Breese-Stevens Field, where forward Madison FC made their home debut. That's where we find our Adam Duxter, who spoke with fans battling the winter-like conditions.
Well, Amanda, if it was a battle, the fans definitely won. The late season snowstorm, no match for forward Madison FC's home opener.
Forward, 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 Madison!
The songs of summer
Forward, forward, Madison!
Over a late spring snowstorm. Today, nothing could stop the flock.
Summer day, fall day, it doesn't matter. We're going to bring the passion, the absolute experience, and the love for the game. That's what we bring every day. It doesn't matter what the weather is.
The Flamingos making their home debut today at Breese-Stevens Field. How are the fans feeling?
This is one of the better days of my life.
But surely with all the snow, they're still cold, right?
I wore too many layers. I'm gonna have to lose one of these halfway through the game, probably.
A march down East Wash, the first of many.
We are going to take our banners and our flags, and we are going to walk to the stadium.
Signifying the flock is finally home. And while soccer has made its way to Wisconsin, these fans wouldn't have it any other way. The Mingos home opener, one they'll never forget.
Remember that first game when it was, 30 degrees outside and it was snowing. There was risk of a whiteout. And I'm sure as it goes on down the years, there'll be a little bit of small little editing of the story. And it was it was the worst snowstorm we ever had in April.
The fan group says in addition to supporting the team, they're also supporting a good cause. They've paired up with the Rape Crisis Center of Dane County and been raising money for them all month long. In Madison, Adam Duxter, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Adam. Despite the snow and cold, plenty of people are still getting outside, sleeping outside. In fact, for example, campers at Devil's Lake were braving the cold earlier today, preparing for predicted snow. One crew came from Chicago, hoping to go rock climbing, but they're making the best of it.
I think that's pretty typical for camping, to just roll with it, no matter what.
Devil's Lake is an amazing campsite, and we're with good friends, so it'll be a good time no matter what.
According to the Devil's Lake phone line, all reservable campsites were already filled for this weekend. You can keep track of the storm by using our First Alert Weather app. Just search for Channel 3000 First Alert Weather and Traffic to download the free app. The spring storm didn't stop a presidential visit to Wisconsin this evening. President Donald Trump made a stop tonight at the Resch Center in Ashwaubenon, just outside of Green Bay. The president spoke to his supporters about the economy, the border wall debate, and criticized several of the candidates for the 2020 Democratic nomination, including former Vice President Joe Biden, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. He did speak about uniting with the Democrats on prescription drug prices and the opioid crisis.
And maybe on that one, we're going to work with the Democrats, to be honest, because they want to get it down too. And we'll see if we can put it all together. But prescription drugs, look, it's a rigged system.
He scheduled the rally on the same night as the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which he has never attended. The speech comes on the same day that a 19-year-old man allegedly opened fire inside a synagogue in the California city of Poway, outside of San Diego. One person was killed and 3 others were injured. Authorities in California are calling it a hate crime based on statements made by the shooter when he entered the Jewish place of worship. President Trump condemned the attack tonight, saying the country cannot stand for anti-Semitism.
Tonight, America's heart is with the victims of the horrific synagogue shooting in Poway, California, just happened. Our entire nation mourns the loss of life, prays for the wounded, and stands in solidarity with the Jewish community. We forcefully condemn the evil of anti-Semitism and hate, which must be defeated.
A tweet from San Diego's police department says it will be providing extra patrol at places of worship out of an abundance of caution. Before the president's speech tonight, Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes spoke at a rally in Green Bay.
We led with a vision in 2018. If you look back at 2016, most of the campaign was focused on being about how awful a Donald Trump presidency could be. But now that we are experiencing that presidency, a lot of people already know that. We don't have to tell them that. What we're going to talk about is our positive vision for the direction of the United States of America.
President Trump won Wisconsin back in 2016 by less than a percentage point, or about 22,000 votes. Democratic Governor Tony Evers was not asked to meet with the president during this trip. Also in the Green Bay area today, Green Bay police say a man who was arrested overnight has died in custody. Police responded to a report of a man causing several disturbances and was eventually arrested after not obeying officer commands. The report says the man then appeared to have a medical emergency and was taken to the hospital, where he later died. The Appleton Police Department is now investigating. A little boy thrown off a balcony at the Mall of America is making a miraculous recovery. The 5-year-old, known only as Landon, is now conscious and no longer in critical condition. His family says they hope to have him home by June. Police say he fell nearly 40 feet after a man threw him off the 3rd floor earlier this month. That man is now charged with attempted homicide. More local news now. The snow and cold didn't stop one of Madison's biggest traditions today. The Mifflin Block Party celebrates 50 years this year. Officials say it saw a crowd that was a little smaller than usual. Mifflin has drawn crowds of up to 20,000 people in previous years. The annual tradition began in 1969 and is considered one of the most anticipated spring events in the city. Madison Police deploys additional patrols and its special events team to monitor the unsanctioned event. And new at 10, Madison police say 16 people were cited and released for charges related to alcohol, trespassing, disorderly conduct, or urinating in public. Last year, 71 people were arrested. An Oregon man is in custody tonight after crashing into 2 cars, a garage, and going into a home with a shotgun. Kyle Nelson is tentatively charged with a handful of things, including OWI and domestic disorderly conduct while armed. Police say he was driving drunk around 5:30 this morning and crashed into a car in the driveway of a home on North Perry Parkway. He then allegedly crashed into the garage door, hitting another car inside. Nelson then reportedly went into the home with a shotgun, but police arrested him without further incident. Another alleged drunk driver is accused of speeding over 100 miles an hour on the Beltline during rush hour yesterday. The Madison Police Department said a 26-year-old woman was speeding on the left shoulder between John Nolan Drive and Southtown Drive, then crashed into another vehicle. The passengers in the other car were treated for minor injuries. Police say the woman tried to walk away from the crash but was taken into custody after fighting with officers. The Verona Police Department is aiming to keep unused prescription drugs out of medicine cabinets and our water supply. It hosted a prescription drug take-back event today in conjunction with the DOJ and the DEA. The Verona Police Department hosts the take-back twice a year so people can safely and anonymously dispose of unused medications so the drugs don't fall into the wrong hands, whether it be a child or someone struggling with addiction.
We just don't want people to have access to medications that aren't prescribed to them for their own health as well as the health of everybody else.
The event typically collects 5 to 6 full boxes of drugs that are later incinerated. Next on News 3 Now at 10, after hundreds of trees were cut down because of an invasive species, an organization is planting more. What this means to them.
Don't miss.
Welcome back. While Mother Nature didn't really give us the perfect spring weather today, it was still a great time to celebrate our planet. The Madison Parks Department honored Earth Day by enlisting people to help clean up the city's parks. More than 900 volunteers picked up trash from city parks this morning. Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway helped kick off the effort this morning at Elver Park. Several volunteers were also out dodging raindrops and a few snowflakes this morning at Devil's Lake State Park. Members of the group Friends of Devil's Lake State Park got together to plant trees. 300 trees were cut down last fall to fight against emerald ash borer, a beetle that destroys ash trees. Organizers say besides their environmental value, cutting down trees can also mean cutting down memories.
Sometimes it's like that favorite shade tree when somebody wants to picnic or camp. This is where we always go.
Organizers say they hope planting new trees will help create new traditions. In just 2.5 hours, more than 22 tons of personal documents were destroyed thanks to the annual Shred Fest at Warner Park. More than 1,400 people threw away anything from receipts, bank statements, pay stubs, and bills. According to the Better Business Bureau, most identity theft crimes occur when something containing your personal information is either lost or stolen.
So it's extremely important to shred those confidential documents, and the best way to do that is at a shredding event like this.
WISC-TV News 3 Now is a proud sponsor and partner of this event. Runners and walkers got a snowy start as they raced to the 50-yard finish line in Camp Randall this morning. The 38th annual Crazy Legs Classic had a major course change this year. For the first time in the race's history, it didn't start on Capitol Square, but instead on UW's Library Mall. A new city ordinance put an end to events on the square that clogged downtown. However, this year wasn't the first time the race experienced some snow.
The weather's not ideal. You know, we're all from Wisconsin, so we're I don't know if we're used to snow at the end of April, but it's not out of the ordinary. So.
The annual race drew more than 10,000 participants today. WISC also sponsors that event. It's the 8th annual Wisconsin Grilled Cheese Championship. Hundreds turned out to celebrate a true Wisconsin comfort food. Participants competed in a variety of amateur and professional categories, serving all kinds of grilled cheese from the classic to even dessert versions. Let's take a look at your first alert weather. Today was probably a good day to stay inside and eat some grilled cheese.
That would have been the ideal thing to do.
Yeah.
But for some of us, that wasn't an option. We had to come out and take a look at how much snow was falling. And taking a look at some of the amounts that fell across southern Wisconsin, 6 inches fell in Oakley. That's the southern portion of the Greene County down near Monroe. About 5 inches in Lancaster, almost 5 in Mount Horeb, 4 inches Mineral Point. Here at the WISC-TV studios, we had 2.5 inches. And a lot of that was just melting as it was falling and accumulating mainly on the grass. And the Dane County Regional Airport, 1.2 inches doesn't sound like a lot. They were on the northern fringe of the storm, but that was enough to set a record for the day. We may set a record tonight for the coldest temperature because with all that snow on the ground, and there's not a lot, but enough to keep the ground cold. The snow has now headed out toward Michigan and Indiana. So upwind, there's nothing going on there. In fact, skies are clearing and those temperatures will start to fall. So the advisories have been cut back to just far northeastern Illinois, and those will expire pretty soon. But now a freeze warning has been issued for much of western Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, eastern Iowa, and northwestern Illinois. That's an area where the growing season traditionally has already really started to take hold, and a hard freeze is expected with temperatures in the mid to upper 20s. We'll be looking at probably upper 20s through much of southern Wisconsin, including the Madison area. It's just that the growing season traditionally hasn't really gotten into full swing at this point. That's why the National Weather Service doesn't issue freeze warnings this early, at least for this part of the state. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. The snow has ended. As we look at the almanac for today, the high of 45 is early this morning. We had to overcome that mild air before the snow could start to accumulate, and that didn't happen until late morning. Low temperature was 32 at the height of the snow. Right now, we're still above freezing at 33 with mostly cloudy skies. The air is calm, but again, those clouds will start to clear out later on tonight, and that will allow those temperatures to fall. High temperatures today were in the 40s to around 50 degrees before the snow started. Now those temperatures mainly in the 30s, and to the north and west, we're starting to see pockets of 20s form where the skies have cleared. And again, as that clearing gets over the snow cover, mainly over southern Wisconsin, that's where the coldest temperatures will be. Jet stream has moved our snow out pretty quickly. The next weather system, taking a little more northerly path, that will keep precipitation in the form of rain here. That'll be tomorrow night into Thursday. Tomorrow, though, we'll look for high temperatures in the 50s because as those skies clear, it'll give us a cold night, but also give us some sunshine to start the day tomorrow before the next batch of clouds moves in. High pressure is located just out to the west. Here's that next weather system. And again, it'll move pretty quickly toward the south and east, but again, stay to our north, so we'll be on the warm side of that storm system. And these temperatures that are in the 30s now are actually a little milder out to the west. So you can see on future track, the skies clearing out overnight, some sunshine to start the day tomorrow, then the clouds move in the afternoon. Should be dry during the day. Tomorrow night, the showers move in, but notice the snow stays up in northern Wisconsin, and then eventually the showers move out on Monday. The clouds still remain. The next weather system to the west taking another northerly track. So you see snow out to the west, but it'll be mainly rain and maybe even a few thunderstorms here as we head toward Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Forecast includes that freeze warning for areas west of Platteville to Lone Rock line from 1 a.m. until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Look for skies to turn mostly clear overnight with low temperature dropping to 27. That would tie the record low of 27 set back in 1988. For tomorrow, look for skies to become mostly cloudy in the afternoon. High temperature getting back up to 52. On future track, those clear skies overnight allowing temperatures to drop into the upper 20s. Highs tomorrow in the lower 50s as the clouds move in the afternoon. Again, dry during the day. Tomorrow night, some showers move in. Rain showers with low temperatures at or above 40, and then high temperatures in the lower 50s on Monday as the showers come to an end. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, those temperatures slowly go up by a degree or two each day. Some shower and thunderstorm chances Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday and Saturday will be dry. Then some thunderstorm chances Saturday night into Sunday of next weekend. At least next weekend, we're not looking at snow. If anything, thunderstorms.
Some good news. And those temperatures, they're moving in the right direction. They're going up.
I don't think they could go any lower.
I sure hope not. Thank you so much, Gary.
Sure.
Some big hitters putting up big runs for the Badgers today. Highlights coming up next in sports.
Well, it will be an April to remember for Christian Yelich. He's doing a pretty good job of defending his National League MVP title. Coming into tonight's game against the Mets, he racked up 13 home runs. That's one short of tying the MLB record for home runs hit before May 1st. Yelich got a solo shot tonight in the 4th inning, so he could be in sole possession of the record, especially since the Brewers have 3 more games left to play in the month of April. By the way, Ben Gamel hit one too tonight. Brewers win this one 8-6, the final score. The Badgers softball team aiming for the series win at Purdue this afternoon. Wisconsin won the first game yesterday. Big game today for Kelly Welsh. She hit a solo home run in the 4th inning, and then here in the 5th, launches one way back to right center. This time it's a grand slam. Badgers win big time, 12-6, the final score. Last day of the NFL draft and the Packers cashing in on their needs on both sides of the ball. Here's who Brian Gutekunst and company picked up today. Defensive tackle Kingsley Keke from Texas A&M. He's the second Aggie coming to Green Bay. Kadar Hallman, a corner from Toledo. Dexter Williams from Notre Dame. And finally, Ty Summers. He's an inside linebacker out of TCU. Little interesting note, by the way, Gutekunst drafting quite a few SEC and Big Ten guys, going away from Ted Thompson's standard of getting West Coast players. Now, Dexter Williams will join Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams in the backfield. Last season with the Fighting Irish, he averaged 6.5 yards per carry and about 110.6 yards per game. He was, however, suspended for the first 4 games of the season after he failed a drug test. Now, as for the Badgers, Michael Dieter was picked up by the Dolphins yesterday in the 3rd round, and today, inside linebacker Ryan Connolly, he'll be heading to the New York Giants. Andrew Van Ginkel will join Dieter in Miami. He was drafted in round 5. And offensive lineman David Edwards is going to be a Cali kid playing for the Rams. Now, the rest will likely sign undrafted free agent contracts. Alec Ingold was the first one to get one from the Raiders. John Gruden was his coach during the Senior Bowl. And TJ Edwards just signed an undrafted free agent contract with the Eagles. Now, Chris James and Dakota Dixon both getting tryouts with teams, and still lots of talent left from the Badgers, including Bo Benchel, who, this is a surprising one, he was not drafted. So stay tuned. And FYI, 40 players drafted today in the draft this year were from the Big Ten. The SEC led with 64. Runners in the state of Wisconsin proving how tough they really are today, because little snow, little wind didn't stop more than 10,000 brave human beings from running in the 38th annual Crazy Legs Classic. Andy Knapp from Madison crossing the finish line first on the men's side, wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I'm cold watching this. He finished with a time of 25 minutes and 1 second. That's a distance of 8 kilometers, by the way, in this race. And on the women's side, Jessa Victor coming in first place, 29 minutes and 32 seconds for her. No shortage of fans, as you saw. They're cheering on these runners either, and that definitely helped them out. But honestly, in my opinion, if you finish the race in these conditions in general, you are a winner. Huge accomplishment there, right there on its own.
Yeah, I mean, not only is the snow coming, but it's hitting you in the face.
Yeah, you should have worn. I would have worn goggles. I would have been like completely decked out.
But most of them look like it's summer.
Yeah,
you know, he had a tank top the winter, so
he's a champ.
More power to him. We'll be right back. Before we go tonight, we want to share some special news with you all. Congratulations to News 3 meteorologist Dave Caulfield and his wife Amanda. They welcomed a baby boy tonight. Rory James Caulfield was born around 7:15 tonight, or as Dave said, right as the snowflakes wrapped up, of course. The whole family is doing well, mom and baby, and we're very happy for them.
I had to call from him this morning. We're on our way to the hospital. Guess who's working? So
Gary's here.
I think he just wanted to get away from the snowstorm
stop. Too. Well, of course, he said that meteorologist baby was going to come during this snowstorm,
sure.
And it happened exactly that way. So congrats to Dave and Amanda.
Well, they'll always remember Rory's birthday.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Maybe we'll with the snow on the ground, but the snow is now gone from southern Wisconsin. Skies will be clearing out. Temperatures right now in the mid to low 30s for southern Wisconsin. But notice to our north and west where the skies are clearing. Black River Falls down to 26. Camp Douglas at 30. There are freeze warnings in effect west of a Wisconsin Dells to Lone Rock to Platteville line. That's the area where the growing season probably is in a little more of a full swing. But still, freezing temperatures expected over southern Wisconsin. Here in Madison, will drop to 27. That would tie the record going back to 1988. And then temperatures go up a degree or two each day. It's a slow process, but we start with some rain showers tomorrow night, some rain showers Monday morning, showers and thunderstorms Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Then again Saturday night into Sunday. But by that time, temperatures are in the 60s. So next week, we'll talk about thunderstorms instead of snow.
Instead of snow. That's good. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.